Hare Krishna, we are very fortunate. Mohan Prabhuji is in the call. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your association. Please take over the call, Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, entitled Dhruva Returns Home, text 42 to 45. Tam drishtvopavanabhyasa ayantam tarasarathat avaruya ripasturnam asadya prema vivvala parirebe angajam dorbhyam dirgotkhantamanáshvasan vishvakshenangri samsparsha hatasheshagabandhanam. Word to word translation. Tam, him, Dhruv Maharaj, Drishtva, having seen, Upavana, the small forest, Abhyase, near, Ayantam, returning, Tarasa, with great haste, Ratat, from the chariot, Avaruya, got down, Dripa, the king, Turnam, immediately, Asadya, coming near, Prema, with love, Vivvala, overwhelmed, Parirebe, he embraced, Angajam, his son, Dorbhyam, with his arms, Dirga, for a long time, Utkanta, anxious, Mana, the king, whose mind, Swashan, breathing heavily, Vishwaksena, of the Lord, angry by the lotus feet, Samsparsha, being touched, Hata, were destroyed, Ashesha, unlimited, Aga, material contamination, Bandham, whose bondage. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Upon seeing Dhruv Maharaj approaching the neighboring small forest, King Uttanapada, with great haste, got down from his chariot. He had been very anxious for a long time to see his son Dhruva, and therefore with great love and affection he went forward to embrace his long-lost boy. Breathing very heavily, the king embraced him with both arms. But Dhruv Maharaj was not the same as before. He was completely sanctified by spiritual advancement due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no purport to this, so we'll take the next two verses. Text 44. Ata jigran murmurni shitair nayanavaribi snabhayam asatanayam jato dhama manoratha. Reunion with Dhruv Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanapada's long-cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again, bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. Purport. By nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears the translation, reunion with Dhruv Maharaj fulfilled King Uttanapada's long-cherished desire, and for this reason he smelled Dhruva's head again and again, and bathed him with torrents of very cold tears. Purport. By nature's way, when a man cries, there may be two causes. When one cries in great happiness upon the fulfillment of some desire, the tears coming forth from the eyes are very cold and pleasing. whereas tears in the times of distress are very hot. So all the purport is there. I was requested to take the next verse also. So I will take text 45 also. Abhivandya pitu padau ashirbischabhimantrita nanama matarau shirshna satkrita sajjanagrani. Then Dhruv Maharaj, the foremost of all nobles, first of all offered his obeisances at the feet of his father and was honored by his father with various questions. He then bowed his head at the feet of his two mothers. Purport. It may be questioned why Dhruv Maharaj offered his respect not only to his mother but also to his stepmother, due to whose insults he had to leave home. The answer is that after achieving perfection by self-realization and seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, Dhruv Maharaj was completely freed from all contamination of material desire. Feelings of insult or honor in this material world are never perceived by a devotee. Lord Chaitanya therefore says that one has to be humbler than the grass, and he recommends more tolerant than the tree to execute devotion service. Dhruv Maharaj therefore has in this verse been described as Sajjanagrani, the foremost of noblemen. The pure devotee is the noblest of all, and he has no feelings of animosity towards anyone. Duality due to animosity is the creation of this material world. There is no such thing in the spiritual world, which is the absolute reality. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I think someone has to mute the mic. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees to this Bhagavatam class online that is being conducted by the devotees, especially in United States, Charlotte and other places, the Bhakti Sangha group. And as always, I'm always feel very inspired and honored to be in this gathering and also share some something from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I should say that the Bhagavatam is going at quite a fast pace. Last time I spoke, you are all in 3rd canto, and now you are already in the 9th chapter of 4th canto. So either I have not spoken for a while, or the verses are being covered very quickly. So thank all the devotees for coming, for attending online. And this is an amazing section of Dhruva Leela, Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, where he is returning back to his home, and the response of his family is being seen. Usually when somebody has to practice Krishna consciousness, either it is an anguish due to the family or due to something, one for a while is separated from the regular society that is there. And this is a regular accusation on devotees, that once all of you guys start practicing Krishna consciousness, then you don't they are not seen in any social gatherings or any of the things. You're all absent, and many times the new people also feel that, oh, how can we be away from our society, because when we need them, then they won't be there to help. And there many times this feeling is also there, that will I be accepted back if I cut off my relationships, right? And here in this story, and in so many stories that we see in real life and in scriptures, that a strong practice of Krishna consciousness is very important, and that makes us a better person, a better human being, a better devotee. And if you know, when Dhruva Maharaj went, he went because he couldn't get something. He wanted to get the lap of his father, and because he couldn't get, and because he got all this words from his stepmother, so he didn't get something that was desirable, and he got something that was undesirable. But we in this world are always troubled when we don't get something, and that was how he went into the forest with a great desire to get powers, get supreme power that is greater than any mortal being that has ever had. And now when he is coming back, he is not in the mood of, okay, now will my family members accept me. He is in the mood now of not of getting something, but actually he is now in the mood of giving back, or in the mood of giving. And especially and that's the transformation that happens through the contact with Krishna and Krishna consciousness, that we are no longer dependent on the material world for our satisfaction, for our stability, for our emotions. We, because of being connected, Vishwakshenangri Samsparsha, because of somehow coming in contact with the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, Hata Ashesha Agabandhanam, that unlimited types of contaminations, anxieties that we usually have, utkanta, are diminished, and we no longer are expecting from this material world. I was hearing a talk by one of the saints. Of course, I don't know if he's a genuine saint, but considered as a saint. That he was saying that when a marriage happens, the husband, he suffers not because of the wife. He suffers, or wife or spouse, whatever. If it is wife, then the cause of trouble is not the husband, or the other way. The cause of trouble is not the wife, but it is one's own self. And how one's own self? Because if it is the person's expectation from that other person which is causing the trouble, it is not the other person. Same way, Dhruva, he was thinking that it is my father, my stepmother, and this position, not having which I am being troubled. But once he has achieved Krishna, once he has experienced Krishna's mercy, he has understood that it is not the people in this world are creating trouble for us, or it is not the situations that are creating trouble for us. It is our expectations from the things that are there in this world that create the trouble. Just like if you have in your hands a Samsung, not a Samsung, a iPhone 3G, very old phone now. Now iPhone 3G in today's day and age is very old phone. And if you try to play a HD video or try to run a very heavy software on it, it will naturally crash. It will not withstand because it has its limitations. There may be a phone, very latest phone that may be running very fast. Now that is also has its limitations somewhere or other. And so the cause of the trouble in this world is not the people. It is our expectations from the people, and the benefit of coming in contact with Krishna consciousness is that we no longer expect any kind of thing from the people. We are willing. We are happy at whatever situation comes, that yes, this person is able to do this much, and I am grateful that whatever he has done, and because we don't depend on the people for our satisfaction. That's a strong message that comes when we read how Dhruva Maharaj, when he comes back, how he is a totally transformed person. And Prabhupada also mentions that because he was now by spiritual advancement, he was completely sanctified, and due to having been touched by the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Vishwakshen Angri Sansparsha. Now, this connection with the lotus feet of the Lord to Dhruva happens twice. The second time, we know when Lord Vishnu, he comes and he shows him his form, and actually 3 times it happens. The second is when the Lord is manifest in his heart, when he is meditating, he is seeing the Supreme Lord in his heart. And the first time that he comes in touch with Krishna's lotus feet, is when he meets Narad Muni. And that's why we say great souls or Mahatmas as Vishnu Pada, Jayom, Om Vishnu Pada, one who is situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. So we may not have directly come in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord, but if we come in touch with the devotees, with the pure devotees of the Lord, that is Vishwakshe Nangri Samsparsha, that coming in touch. And so coming in touch with the Guru establishes our connection with the Lord. That is the Sambandha. The Sambandha Gyan, the Sambandha happens when we come, when we take initiation, when we accept the spiritual master, a spiritual master in our life. And the second, when he is meditating in the heart, that is also by the grace of Narada Muni, and the Lord is present in his heart, and this is the process of Abhideya, that he is practicing what the Guru has told him. It is not just he has heard from the spiritual master and now when he goes there, he is just sleeping in a corner. He is strongly practicing. And by that strong practice of whatever Narad Muni gave him, the process, the Abhideya, now he actually sees Krishna in front of him. And that is the Prayojan. And now that he sees the Supreme Lord, he is in such a amazement at the beauty of the Lord that he is just in awe and just looking at the Lord and drinking his beauty, and is not able to speak. He wants to glorify, but he can't have any words by which he can glorify. And then Lord Vishnu, he touches his conch, his Shankha, to Dhruv Maharaj's neck. And as soon as the Lord touches the Shankh to Dhruv Maharaj's neck, immediately is surcharged with transcendental knowledge, and he starts to speak a beautiful verse which is often spoken by speakers when we recite Bhagavatam. Dhruv Maharaj says, Yo anta pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjivati akila shakti dharasvadamna anyam sahastastarana shravanatvagadin prana namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. So Dhruv Maharaj, as soon as he is empowered with transcendental knowledge, that was by the conchal of Lord Vishnu, he says that you anta pravishya mama vacha, that, O Lord, now that you have entered me, please bless, you are empowered, please empower my words, mama vacha imam prasuptam, and sanjivati, although they were in my words were in a prasupta stage, or in a sleeping stage, my whole existence, sanjivati, that now that you have revived me, revived my words, akila shakti dharasvadhamna, and you have empowered me with all your energies, therefore anyam sahasta, that you have enlivened my seeing your form, my hands, my feet, my words, my ability to hear, my whole life existence has been brought to Sanjivati, has again been revived. Otherwise I was a dead person walking. That's why it is said in the Puranas, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jata Shastri Smriti Japas Apranasya Hideyasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. This verse says that without having devotion for the Lord, it is just like although you may have lot of power or position or money or even knowledge, shastra, japas, tapas, you may have chanted many mantras or done lot of austerities or been born in a very high family, But without connection with the Lord, it is all decorations on a dead body. Apranasya dehasya mandanam lokaranjan. Sometimes dead bodies are decorated, especially in America. You all know that the dead bodies are, the person will appear more beautiful than he was alive after he is dead. With all the formalin and everything, all the treatment, then everyone goes to the funeral home, and then there they are seen for the last time, and then is taken to the crematorium. So Dhruva is acknowledging. So and another way to understand that the Lord Krishna's hands and his legs are angani yasya sakalendra vrittimanti, that they are not different. Any contact with the Supreme Lord, any touch is as good as any other touch. Therefore Lord Krishna, just by his glance, he impregnates Prakriti. He doesn't have to go through the physical process which in the material mortal bodies we go through. And so when Lord Vishnu touched Dhruva with his hand, that is also Vishwakshen Angri Samsparsha. So this is the fourth time we can say that he was touched by the lotus feet of the Lord, or the third time that he when he got the prayojan of seeing. And it is very interesting to see that the Bhagavatam doesn't stop here, that now that he has got prayojan, now that he has seen the Lord, he has achieved success, and that is it. The Bhagavatam continues the story, and you'll find that not all stories continue forever. There is somewhere or other, only the essential subject matter is focused in the Bhagavatam. If you see the Daksha Yajna, now after the Yajna and all the havoc that is created, the section doesn't speak much. Or if you take any other stories, wherever the most strongest episodes are present, they are spoken, and rest of it is not, especially because of the paucity of time. Parikshit had very less time. And therefore Maharaj says that Shukadeva Goswami, from the entire gamut of history and philosophy, he took the most essential stories that were conveying a message about devotion service, and he spoke them. So surprisingly, the Bhagavatam speaks the story after the part 2 of the story, Dhruva part 2, and that is this section where Dhruva Maharaj is coming back and his family is waiting for him outside the forest. Now one thing is, one can question is, how did the family know that he is going to come today? Is it some kind of message that he sent? Obviously not. Maybe there are some, Narad Muni himself conveyed, all the details are not given, or the message reached that Dhruva has seen Krishna now, and now that he is returning. And as soon as his father sees, now imagine the state of his father, the kind of feeling he is going through, because it was mainly because of him that Dhruva had, because of his neglect. It is said Uttanapad was such a powerful king that nobody was willing to know that he had no rivals in his kingdom. And where is this place? This place that Uttanapada ruled is near Kanpur. If any of you been to Kanpur, if you go near the nearby, on the bank of Ganga, there is the Valmiki Muni's ashram, where he wrote the Ramayana, where Sita Devi, Lava Kush, and all of them stayed. And if you go a little bit ahead on that road, you'll find this place. I don't exactly remember the place name, but it is said to be that the capital of Uttanapad. And so that's where he was ruling. And his father, Uttanapad, was such a powerful king that in uh, in the power of destruction he was compared to Lord Shiva, and in the power of maintenance or maintaining the kingdom he was compared to Lord Vishnu, and the power of in the powers of creating or conquering, he was considered to be the powers, to the having the powers of Brahma. So extremely successful in his kingship, Uttanapad. But although he was so extremely successful in ruling and taking care of his, no human being is perfect. And this is another lesson, that because he was so busy, even when he came to the family, he was only looking after who can gratify me more. And Suruchi being more beautiful and more like pleasing talker, he naturally just went for taking to Suruchi, because he was only in the because outside he was giving so much to the kingdom. When he came home, he wasn't in the mode of Vishnu or Brahma or Shiva. He just thought, okay, who is it that can gratify me more? And he just went, and slowly being obliged, he became a victim. Although public, as some motivational speakers say, that there are two types of victory. One is a public victory, another is a private victory. Public victory is that which the world sees, and private victory is something that is very much close to you, maybe within your family. How are you as a person within your family? And many times there is a strong struggle that goes on in accomplishing in the world, and also being very much loving in the family. And Dhruva, so Uttanapad, the moment Dhruva left the forest, he realized his great mistake, and he was lamenting. And Narad Muni comes and he pacifies Uttanapad, and he says that your son is going to become a great devotee, and he is safe because he is under the protection of the Supreme Lord. Don't worry. And very soon he is going to come back. So Uttanapad, he was waiting, and it is said that even Suruchi understood a grave mistake, especially because now Uttanapad, he not just was repenting for his mistake, but he also rectified his mistake. It is said that how can we know who is a bad person and who is a good person? A good person is not someone who never makes mistakes, and a good devotee is someone who, when they do a mistake, they realize that mistake, that oh, I did this wrong. And whereas a bad person, bad devotee, he rationalizes his mistake, that oh, I I created trouble. That's good. I was happy to see that the prasadam got over. Anyway, these people come for only eating. They are not worthy enough. So some kind of rationalization is done. But whereas devotee, he realizes his mistake, and it doesn't stop there. That he just realizes his mistake, but he also repents for his mistake. He becomes extremely remorseful that he feels very bad that he did his mistake. And repentance, feeling sorry for the mistake that we did, is a very important aspect for us to do the third part, which is to rectify. And you commit a mistake, you realize and you rectify, but you don't feel bad for what you then that rectification won't be strong. So these are the 3 R's. One, that a good devotee, a good human being, he realizes his mistake, he repents for his mistake, and he rectifies his mistake. And Uttanapada, he rectified his mistake. His mistake was partiality. And for a leader, for a president, or in ISKCON case for a GBC, if he favors one group and he is very neglectful of other group, then it creates a very lot of animosity, enmity, ill feelings in the family of devotees. So when he realized that outside I am so good, but when I come home, I have created this kind of pain in the hearts of my family. So he rectifies it, and the proof of that comes in the verse that we speak, which Acharyas mentioned, that in the verse before this, that all the 3 Suruchi, Suniti, and their son Uttama, they all come in the same palanquin, which was not the case before. The case before was Suruchi was given a higher priority. She used to come separately in a much more luxurious way. But now, Uttanapad, he rectified his mistake. And because he is sincerely repenting for what he did. And therefore this verse says that when he embraced his son, he was so happy, genuinely happy, that now finally I have got back my son. Because for a small 5-year-old to just go not in a safe place but in a jungle is unimaginable. There are so many wildlife. What will he eat? Where will he sleep? Naturally, there is so much anxiety. And therefore, Dhruva's father, as soon as Dhruva came, immediately he was in such a haste. Quickly he got down from the chariot. He went, he ran, and he embraced his son. And tears started to come out. And it is said, Sheeter Nayana Varibi. The tears were very cold because he was very happy. And Prabhupada explains that when we are in trouble, like when Arjuna was in trouble, Ashru Purna Kulekshana, those tears were not tears of joy. They are, when we are in trouble, when we are in anxiety or in sorrow, the tears that come out are hot. So even there is a psychophysical reaction, there is a physical reaction based on what kind of emotions we have. And Dhruva, after his father embraced him, it's explained in this verse that he had no animosity, because earlier he had to take something and there was a competitor in the form of Suruchi or Uttama for the post of his father's lap. As one devotee says that this episode starts with the fighting for a laptop, the lap, and who will sit on the top of the lap of his father. So for Uttanapada's laptop, there was a fight. Sometimes it happens in homes. There is one item and 2 members of the family want it, and there is a fight. So now Dhruva had no animosity towards Suruchi. In fact, he was so grateful to Suruchi now. Because of her, now I could see Krishna. So there was no animosity. Therefore, he went and offered his obeisances. He had no air that now he is a Paramahamsa. He was following the cultural norms that are there to offer obeisances to the parents. Now, this is a norm that is nowadays not much followed, but parents go through so much trouble. So, a child has to offer. It is said every day morning one should offer one's obeisances to one's parents, and if not regularly, but if not every day, then whenever we meet them, we should offer our obeisances to our parents. And Prabhupada taught this himself to his disciples. And you know the story when Brahmanand Prabhu went first time, he knocked on the door, and when his mother opened the door, he couldn't see anyone. And she said, "Who is?" And then she saw that on the floor at the gate was his son offering obeisances, and which was totally awkward in American society. So she said, "What are you doing? Did you lost something there or what?" And she immediately brought him inside. So yes, there are culturally sometimes situations don't allow, say at airport or different places, but Prabhupada taught that one should offer one's obeisances. And then the next verses go how the mothers respond and how but being the foremost of Vaishnavas, Dhruva Maharaj, he had no air about it, and he was following. Right now, as he is following the rules, the etiquette that is there with full intention. Even when Vaikuntha Viman came, at the later parts we'll see that he followed the proper norms. He said to the Vishnudutas, I have to complete my sadhana, and then he went to all the rishis, took their blessings, and then he boarded the Vaikuntha Vimana. So I'll stop here. I'll just take this one verse, and I just counted that this place is near Kanpur, and Madhuvan, where he performed the tapasya, is near Mathura. So Kanpur to Mathura, according to Google Maps, is around 300 kilometers. So, and it will take, if we just walk continuously, 64 hours. A grown-up human being, what to speak of a child. So 64 hours, it comes to at least 2.5 to 3 days. 3 days of walking. 3 days of walking that Dhruva does before he reaches. And Yamuna and Ganga, they are next to each other, almost flowing parallelly in that region. And returning back again, 3 days of walking. So definitely he must have been very tired, exhausted, but he was not undermining any of the etiquettes that were there. Obviously, also because of now being spiritualized, fully transcendental. So, and Rupa Goswami, there is a verse that he speaks that how Krishna is so only pleased by bhakti. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunair bhakti priyo madhava. There is a beautiful verse in which he glorifies that how bhakti doesn't need any qualifications, and in this he quotes about Dhruva. He says what dharma did Vyada, that the hunter had, what kind of pious activity did he do, and then he says about Dhruvasya chavayo, that what kind of maturity did Dhruva had. Dhruva was just on something that small happened at home. He became so angry and he wanted to leave home and he ran. But only good thing in all this was it was connected to Krishna and he somehow came in contact with devotees. So even in somehow we go here, there, somewhere in US or here or there, we might have come there out of anger or greed or desire or anything, but somehow we meet devotees and our life changes like Dhruva. So I'll stop here. Just wanted to mention about This Rupa Goswami mentions especially about that what kind of maturity age did Dhruva have, and but still he was Krishna is only pleased by bhakti and not by any material qualifications, and therefore we should focus on that. So in summary, I spoke about how Dhruva went into the forest in the mode of getting, but now that he got Krishna, now he is no more in the mode of getting. Even when he is coming, he is only in the mode of giving Krishna to others, and therefore we are able to have better relationships in this material world when we have strong Krishna connection. And then we spoke about 3 times that connection with Krishna's lotus feet happens: Sambandha, connecting with the Guru, following the process, and then finally actually Prayojan, which is seeing Krishna, and by that Prayojan we become empowered to please the Supreme Lord, pray to the Supreme Lord or preach His glories. And then I spoke about the tears and how Dhruva about Uttanapad, that how he was more focused on public victory, but somehow he neglected private victory. He was partial within his own family, and that which created trouble, the whole thing. But because of connection with Narada Muni, all this became came to a very wonderful conclusion. So I'll stop here, and if any devotees have any questions or comments, we can take.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. This is Damodarananda Das from Bloomington, Illinois.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat, Prabhu, we are not going very fast. We are very consistent. We do one sloka a day. It's just because of your mercy and other speakers' mercy. We are making good progress. So you have to come more often. Stay in touch.
Thank you for the clarification. I knew that devotees are not rushing, but I just was kind of in a amazement. I said that when we do something regularly, then we don't even come to know. Like when I was in New York, we were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, like every day 1 hour, all of us together, and within 6 months we completed Adi Leela. We were in the middle of Madhya Leela. Never expected that, but that is the power of consistency. So thank you for clarifying me that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Any questions any devotees have?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, very, very beautiful class. Very nice. You were talking about like once we get into a session of devotees, we stop going socializing and we just depend on the devotees, and sometimes the conflicts comes also because of our mind, because we have so many expectations from others. That's why we are having that conflicts. If you don't put any expectation and just leave to the God and just do our regulations, then there is no problem. Thank you so much for telling me that, Prabhu. I just repeated because whether I understood correctly or not, to make sure that I have repeated, Prabhu. And thank you so much. That was really helpful, and it was very beautiful class, Prabhu. Please tell me that, Prabhu, did I repeat it correctly or did I went anywhere wrong? Please tell me, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I couldn't hear. Can you repeat? Somehow it got disconnected.
Oh, okay, Prabhu. You were telling about like once you become devotees and then you will stop socializing, and then also sometimes also if you have any conflicts with any person, or like because we are expecting from them, that's why we get that problem. If you don't expect anything, then there is no problem at all. You just leave to Krishna and then you leave happy. That's what you are talking about, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. It was such a beautiful class. Very, very nice class, Prabhu. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shared.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Koti Dandavat Pranam to your service. This was a very inspiring class. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada Sri Gurudev Ki Jai. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Happy to please devotees. That's my some efforts, small efforts.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danat Pranam, and glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much Prabhuji for a beautiful class, Prabhu. Very, very inspiring.
Thank you, Mataji, for kindly appreciating, encouraging to hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for the very beautiful class, Prabhuji. And I like the thing like fighting for laptop. It mostly happened. The kids they fight for laptop, and this is like
So they were fighting for laptop, 2 kids, and that what created the whole trouble. So nowadays people fight for mobile or video game or something, whatever. And we can never do full justice.
So Prabhuji, at the end you were saying like, what is the maturity Dhruva has. Like he is just a 5-year-old boy. And he went to the forest and did tapasya and got, perfection. So this is what we all need to do. We renounce everything and go to the forest. Nowadays it's not possible, but and then attain perfection. So and he just a 5-year-old boy, and this cause is like very like
small.
Yeah. And because of that he did big things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the messages that Bhagavad shows that when you don't have Krishna in your life, even something small can agitate you so much that you take huge steps. But just by providence, because they were in the family of Vaishnavas, the whole family was coming from Manu, which is a Vaishnava family. There was the talk of Narayan. Even Suruchi mentions that you have to please Lord Narayan to come into my womb. And then Suniti also says that because in the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, it's explained that Suruchi says that because we have not done enough, we are not pleased Narayan enough, therefore we are facing troubles in this world. And somehow they have pleased Narayan more than us, therefore they are in a very good situation. And only by pleasing Lord Narayan is one placed in different situations, and Suniti brings that point. And because it was in the family that the child caught that, he caught it, and then he took it very seriously. So that is one benefit, that when Krishna consciousness is in the family, then some time or other the child will take it very seriously. We don't know when that will, it's not, and it's often seen that some time, or like in Prabhupada said that because my family was always practicing, for a while, because of my studies and other things, I left Krishna. Apparently he started worshipping his deities and other things. But as soon as some good advice and some kind of it showed that during his college days, then again, when he met his spiritual master, again he started to revive. So that is one message also that we get from this. Anything else, Mataji?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very, very nice class that you gave. Very nicely explained everything. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I don't.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, just like you gave the example of Suniti, Suruchi, so I'm just trying to clarify that. Sorry, I just want to get myself clarified that like Dhruv Maharaj felt bad about this incident and ultimately achieved the perfection of life. So similarly, a similar situation like this happens to us, then then it looks like if we also feel really bad, then, and if we are in the right direction, guided correctly, then we may also maybe become closer to Krishna. But at the same time, we are also taught that we should give respect to others and not demand respect for ourselves. So how do we consolidate both the things?
There is that, yes, all of us, just somehow by Guru's mercy, by Prabhupada's mercy, we are in the moment. We got Krishna, although we were just searching, running after our own desires, our own plans. And this aspect that one should not expect respect from others. At our stage, it's a practice. It's a sadhana. It's a conscious practice that we do. And at the stage of perfection, it's a natural, because they are not anyway looking for anything, and they feel themselves low and humble, and therefore they naturally offer. So the good qualities that Krishna mentions in the Gita or wherever, for us it's the chanting and practicing these qualities are the way by which we show Krishna our intent, that I want to do this. And then, like a small kid, he may be just not having any bat in his hand, but just doing that kind of act of hitting a ball. So when the father sees that he's regularly doing that, then the father feels, oh, now he needs a bat. So he gives him a bat, buys a bat and gives it. So same way, Krishna's, by our activity, by our doing that, although it may not be, it may be very difficult for us, Krishna, so we are showing Krishna our sincerity. And whether this person is actually desiring it. And then he gives us. So at our stage, we do it as a tapasya. That's right. Tapo divyam putra kayena sattvam vishuddha. He says if one has to purify one's existence, one has to take up some kind of voluntary austerity. We don't have to do extra austerity. Like there was one disciple that was walking with Prabhupada on Visakhapatnam beach without shoes, and there were rocks everywhere. And Prabhupada asked her, why are you not wearing shoes, chappal? And that disciple said that, oh, I'm doing tapasya. I thought austerity is recommended, so I thought, why to wear chappal? So Prabhupada told her that wear slippers, there is already enough austerity for us. Following the regulatory principles and chanting Christian rounds regularly. We don't have to effortlessly sporadically take up this or that. So it is a necessary part. Therefore, the two verses that are there in Shishtastakam, the third verse and the fourth verse, they are considered to be part of sadhana bhakti. Trinadapi sunichena, to act lower than, like feel humble, to practice that is sadhana. And when we do that, then the next other stages which are the later verses which are considered to be part of bhava bhakti, the emotions arise once we do sadhana. So it's a sadhana, it's a tapasya for us. to offer respect to others, to tolerate others' insults. But we should do that because the benefits are we please Krishna by that. Okay, Prabhuji? Anything else?
So that doesn't mean that we should react in a way like Prahlad Maharaj, oh, you insulted me, so I should also, I will do like this or that.
That response was when he had no knowledge. He was just swayed by the material energy. But when he knew, later, the story, as I said, Bhagavatam doesn't end with Dhruva meeting Krishna, but later it is said that how when his brother dies, he didn't feel happy about it. Because of my brother. He felt so angry that how can someone kill my brother? He actually goes to take revenge. And in taking revenge, because it is Kshatriya nature, he becomes so overcome that he just starts killing all the yakshas. There was one yaksha who had killed his brother. He killed him anyway, but he started to kill and destroy the whole yaksha race. And then the Brahmanas and Kuvera, Brahma had to come and again pacify him. So the nature of him getting angry and going overboard was there all through. But he was always directing it, using it under guidance. The same way our nature, it should be used under guidance, and sometimes some elements of it may not go. Like Parikshit Maharaj, he was a Kshatriya. So when he heard about Putana entering Krishna's Nanda Maharaj's house, he became immediately protective. I will go and protect. Putana is attacking and I will go and protect. Although it had already happened hundreds of years, maybe 50 years back, but Parikshit was immediately coming into his elements of protection. So Acharya says that, see, here is Parikshit who had given up everything, but he couldn't give up his nature to have that protection, and which it is not good or it is not bad. It just depends on how you use your nature. So if we have this particular nature, we should consult the sadhus and accordingly use that nature. If you're not able to take somebody's insult, then if you have to fight about it or do something about it, then we should do it, because not everybody can be told just keep quiet. Not all of us have that capacity. So according to our capacity, but like Dhruva, we always do it under guidance. So then our nature, if we try to act unnaturally, then definitely we'll feel highly disconnected with it. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. I think that was under guidance. I think that.
Yeah, it was under guidance that he did.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, is there any question or comment for Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your association. Now we can end the call, paying obeisances to His Grace, Mohan Prabhu, and all the devotees.
Kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. I'm always very grateful to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for your wonderful